Hi, my name is Christian. I want to present my analysis of a short story by David Evans called Race Against Time. And first of all, I want to apologize for my lagging voice, but my throat is really killing me right now. I don't feel really good. And the first thing I want to point out is that this story doesn't contain any names, although it fills over 2 pages. So we would get to know somebody and get in someone's feelings, but we don't get any names, so we don't get this feeling we think, or so we think. Yeah, there is just one name here, I suppose, and this is Anechi's bed. I thought of lots of things. I thought of my bed at home. I thought of Anechi's bed. And I think Anechi could be a life partner or a friend or something. We don't quite know. But let's dig down to the story here. It couldn't happen here or there nowadays. What is it? And what is here? And what is there? Couldn't that it's really open, this first sentence, because what is it? What is here? What is there? Then we go to the next one. It happened in Port Elizabeth, South Africa, in the late 1950s. Okay, now we get it. So here is Port Elizabeth, South Africa, and it is just what is going to happen in the story. Great, and there could be anywhere in the world. And we know it's in the late 1950s, so that's probably why they included I would say, an outdated phrase like nowadays. And I've pointed some of those out, marked with green. Oh, there's not one, sorry. Barkin Street Square A. I don't know. Blanky of knee blanky. Like, what does that even mean? Well, you wouldn't you wouldn't exactly know today, but back in the 1950s, that would be well-known phrases. So Paul's with South Africa, and it was a clear warm night though, and I didn't mind, and I didn't mind too much. And we get to know about Jetty Street, where our main character is walking. Jetty Street may not mean anything here, but it's well known to South Africans and sailors because it comes up from the Port Elizabeth docks. It used to be notorious for prostitutes, and then black, brown, all kinds of prostitutes. And then we would go down here. I didn't meet a prostitute that night, though. I met a dead man. And that is, by the way, the first time we hear about this dead man. We wouldn't know what we would expect before coming here. But our main character is meeting a dead man on Jetty Street. And now the suspension is building up. And down under here we get this little sentence. At least I thought he was dead. He was lying in the empty square, flat on his back, not moving. I approached him nervously. Something about him scared me. I didn't know what. He simply lay there, a big middle-aged man in a shabby serge suit, slightly grubby shirt, and frayed tie. So now we get to know why this story doesn't contain any names, because now we feel like we are this we are this person, and see this person in front of our eyes on this empty road where we are the only one except the dead man. We're alone with the dead man. And now I want to read this sentence a lot. The poor bastard on the ground was likely to die with only the worst aid in the Eastern Cape, unless I thought of something. And that's really helping this build up in the reader's mind, really helping this suspension. And if this story was told in the third person narrator, it probably wouldn't be as exciting to read, because we wouldn't get into the first person, the main character's mind. into the mindset of how he or she feels. So it would just be, let's just say, Mark is going down the road. Mark is seeing a dead man. Mark is freaking out. Just like, okay, well, wow, we would all do that. But now we actually get into the characters' feelings and being freaked out. And so we move on to the next sentence here. So I ran for the telephone booth. I remembered seeing about 100 yards back. There was a ragged book with the emergency pages blessed intact. I dialed. And to the next one, I inhaled a reek of piss that filled the booth. So now we're really sympathizing with this main character, that we really get to feel what he or she feels and getting in their place. And this character is supposed to be the reader's reaction to what happens in the story. And then we'll get into the conversation with the emergency and our main character. All right, we'll send an ambulance, but Loister, listen, what race is he? That's from the emergency. Race, I asked doubly. I was as aware of race as the next man, but at that moment I couldn't see the significance. I'm going to mark this word green also, because all right, as it probably is supposed to be said like, is also this informal way of speaking that really marks the time. And what also is significant for this time is asking for someone's race in an emergency. Let's jump down to the other sentence. Michael Pink here. We have to know so we can send the right ambulance, European or non-European. You've got the European service, but I can put you through to the non-European ambulance. This means that if the person is native, if the person is black, they will send one ambulance, and if the person is not native, the person is white, they will send another ambulance. And this really points out the apartheid which were still existing in the late 1950s. So that's the main issue here. He was waiting, but Christ, I didn't know. I simply didn't know. I don't know, I said. He might be colored, you can't tell. What color is he? Surely you can see. There's lights there. The booth was throbbing. It must have been the drink I'd had and the smell of piss, because I felt like puking. I can't tell. It was true, I couldn't. His face is a kind of grey-blue. And now we are really at the edge of the seat. We really can't take anymore. We really like, we can't deal with this anymore. We're really in the person's mindset right now, and feeling like we would react like this also. And we go deeper down here. I spawn round and back to the booth. The stench of piss was stronger than ever. He's white, I said. And down at the last few lines here, we find out that our main characters don't know if this person is actually white. I'm not sure of it. He's white, and that's because our main character just want the dead man to have the supposed dead man to have the best supposed treatment as he could really get. So we really get to know this person as a good human person. And to end it all, we have this great sentence that I would mark in this color. I don't know what to call it, brown of some sort. It could happen here or anywhere nowadays. Or could it? Well, it actually could.